Hello friends, today we are starting the next very important article from this chapter. So that is nothing but direction angles. Remember that the result which you are discussing today are not only useful in this chapter vector but also in lines and plane. Means in lines and plane every result is related with direction angle, direction cosines and direction ratios. So try to understand these definitions also and the relation between direction cosines and direction ratios. So let us begin with the definition of direction angles. Direction angles are also called as inclination. So now if alpha, beta and gamma are the angle made by a vector with positive direction of x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, at that time these three angles alpha, beta, gamma are called as direction angle. If these are the angle made by a vector with positive direction of x, y and z axis, then we can say that these are the direction angles of a vector. Or instead of vector, if line is given to us and if we are saying that alpha, beta and gamma are the angle made by the line with positive direction of x, y and z axis, then these three angles are called as inclination of a line, or it is also called as direction angles of a line. So now here we are trying to understand this definition with the help of what? Parallelepiped. Why we are considering parallelepiped? So that you are able to understand that we are studying about what? Space, not about what? Plane. So now it is nothing but three-dimensional figure on we know that it has 12 edges. So we are considering x-axis on one edge, y-axis on another edge and z-axis is on what? Third edge, where these two axes are on the back face. If you'll observe here, these two axes are on what? Back face, and this axis is perpendicular to what? X-axis and y-axis. So try to understand it with the help of parallelepiped, or we can say that it is cuboid also. So now we have taken one point A whose coordinates are say A1, A2, A3, and position vector of this point A with respect to origin I am denoting by A bar. Now from this figure you can observe that this A bar makes how much angle? Alpha. Alpha with which axis? X axis. It makes how much angle? Beta. Beta with which axis? Y axis. And it makes angle gamma. Gamma with what? Z axis. And angle made by this A bar means with by this vector with positive direction of x, y and z axis are called as direction angles. So very simple definition is there: angle made by the line with positive direction, angle made by the line, or we can say that angle made by the vector with positive direction of x, y and z axis are called as direction angles. These angles generally we are able to denote, generally we are denoting by alpha, beta and gamma. Where we can say that these are the inclination of a line. Sometimes in example word is used that line is equally inclined. Equally inclined means these are nothing but what? Inclination. And equally inclined means what? Inclination we have denoted by what here? Alpha, beta and gamma. And these inclinations are equal means alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma. Not necessary that every time the word will be used what? Direction angle. Sometimes which word is used? Inclination also. So inclination is alternate word for direction angles. Now these direction angles, these angle completely determine the vector or a line in a space. Means we are able to find out exact position of that vector or a line in the space using these direction angles. Okay. So now if alpha, beta and gamma are the direction angles of a line. Direction angle, just now we have discussed, it is angle made by the line with positive direction of x, y and z axis. If these are the angle made by the line with positive direction of x, y and z axis, means are the direction angles, then if we are taking its cosine of these three angles, means cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma, then the new three numbers which you are getting are called as what? Direction cosines of a line. Getting it very simple. Alpha, beta, gamma are what? Direction angle. Direction angle means what? Angle made by the line with positive direction of x, y and z axis. If alpha, beta and gamma are the direction angles of a line or direction angles of a vector, then we can say that cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma are called as direction cosines of that vector or direction cosines of that line. So very simple definition is there. What is alpha, beta, gamma? Direction angle. Direction angle means angle made by the vector or line with positive direction of x, y and z axis. Once the value of these three angles are known to us, take their cosine. Cosine means what? Cos. So if you are taking their cos, we will get cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. Then these three values are called as direction cosines. Direction cosines of that vector, or we can say that direction cosines of a line. For simplicity, direction cosines are also denoted by small letter L, M, N. L means what? Cos alpha. M means what? Cos beta. N means what? Cos gamma. Means L is cos alpha, M is cos beta, N is cos gamma. So we are using this alternate notation for direction cosines also. Means direction cosines are what? Cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. Or these direction cosines are also denoted by what? LMN. L means cos alpha, M means cos beta, N means what? Cos gamma. Now we are trying to prove that one very important result which will be satisfied by these direction cosines of a vector or direction cosines of a line. So now here alpha, according to our supposition, alpha is what? Angle made by vector with which axis? X axis. And already we know that which is the unit vector along x axis? I cap. So this a bar makes angle alpha with x axis, means in other word we can say that this vector alpha, this vector a bar makes angle alpha with I cap also, because I cap is a unit vector along x axis. What is the angle made by a bar with x axis? Alpha. Means it is angle made with what? I cap also, because I cap is a unit vector along x axis. So that's why here we can say that here already we have denoted the coordinate of that point by a1, a2, a3. That's why we can say that its position vector will be a1 I cap plus a2 j cap plus a3 k cap. So now we are alpha is angle made by this vector a bar with what? X axis, means with I cap. Now we are finding value of cos alpha. Already we have studied one formula to find out angle between two vectors in dot product. What is that formula? Cos theta is equal to a bar dot b bar upon magnitude of a bar into magnitude of b bar. So this is the formula to find out angle between two vectors, which already we have studied in dot product. Now same formula we are applying here. According to that formula, cos alpha will be equals to a bar dot I cap upon magnitude of a bar into magnitude of I cap. So we have substituted the value of a bar here. Now if you will observe both the values, this is the first value, means first vector, and this is second vector. Now both the vectors are in terms of what? I cap, j cap, k cap. And if the vector is expressed in terms of I cap, j cap, k cap, then that representation is called as what? Cartesian representation. And if you observe the important result related with what? Dot product. We have studied about Cartesian representation of dot product. Now here two vectors are there which are represented in Cartesian form. If two vectors are represented in Cartesian form, at that time, how to find out dot product? First take the product of coefficient of I cap. Here coefficient of I cap is a1 and here coefficient of I cap is 1. So a1 into 1 will be equals to a1. Here term of j cap is absent, means its coefficient is 0, and 0 into a2 is what? 0, so not necessary 0. Then what is coefficient of product of coefficient of k cap? Here term of k cap is absent, means its coefficient is 0. 0 into a3 is also what? 0. Means dot product of these two vector will be equals to what? A1. In the denominator, 1 into here 1 is nothing but magnitude of I cap. I cap is unit vector, so its magnitude is 1, and magnitude of a bar, keep it as it is, this product will be equals to magnitude of a bar. This result we have got using the definition of what? Dot product. Means we have got the value of cos alpha. Similarly, we are able to find out value of cos beta also and cos gamma. So now what is this beta? Beta is angle made by the vector with y-axis. And which is the unit vector along y-axis? Unit vector along y-axis is what? J cap. And this a bar makes how much angle? Beta with what? J cap. Now we are finding value of cos beta using the same definition. If instead of alpha, if we are taking beta here I cap will get replaced by what? J cap. If here I cap will get replaced by j cap, then what is product of coefficient of j cap will be equals to a2. Because here coefficient of j cap is 1 and 1 into a2 will be equals to a2, and remaining term in the numerator will become 0. Means what result we will get using same method? A2 upon magnitude of a bar. In the same way, value of cos gamma will be equals to a3 upon magnitude of a bar. And what is gamma here? Angle made with z axis. And if it is angle made with z axis, means here alpha will get replaced by gamma, then here what will get? Unit vector along z axis, that is what? K cap. If we are getting here k cap, then product of coefficient of k cap is what? A3. That's why here we have got A3. Means these two results we are getting using same method. Now here we have got three important values. Value of cos alpha, cos beta and what? Cos gamma. And what is this cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma? Are the direction cosines of a vector, or we can say that direction cosines of a line. If example is related with vector, at that time we can say that these are direction cosines of a vector. And if example is related with what? Lines, at that time we can say that these are the direction cosines of a line. Once the value of cos alpha, cos beta and cos gamma are known to us, let us check this value satisfies which condition. Now we are squaring and adding these three equations. So cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma. So on this side also take the square. We are taking sum of square of these three values. So a1 square plus a2 square plus a3 square, and in the denominator, denominators are same. So here we will get magnitude of square of magnitude of a bar. Denominator of these three terms are same, so that's why we have taken addition. And while taking addition, what we are doing? Squaring and adding these three equations. So now let us simplify this side and let us see what we will get here. So now magnitude of a bar. So what is the value of a bar in terms of I cap, j cap, k cap? This is the value of a bar. And we know that if vector is expressed in Cartesian form, at that time its magnitude can be found out as, observe this vector, its magnitude is equal to under root, what is coefficient of I cap? A1 square. So here we will get coefficient of j cap is A2, so here we will get A2 square, and lastly coefficient of k cap is A3, so here we will get A3 square. This is the value of what? Magnitude. Magnitude of which vector? A bar. If we are squaring both sides, what will get? Magnitude of a square will be equals to, on this side root will get eliminated, so a1 square plus a2 square plus a3 square. Square root will get eliminated since simply we are taking square on both sides. Now if we are replacing magnitude of a square by this value, so replace this square of magnitude of a bar by its value, so these two terms will become exactly same, and means numerator and denominator will become exactly same, so we'll get cancelled, and what division we will get here? 1. So what important condition is satisfying by direction cosine? Sum of square of these three numbers means sum of square of direction cosines means cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equal to 1. And this is the very important condition which we have to use while solving the example. So which condition is satisfying by direction cosines of a vector? That direction cosines we are denoting by what? Cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. And this satisfies which condition? Sum of their square is equal to what? 1. Now, so this result can be written as, that is, so we have already seen that this direction cosines for simplicity can also be denoted by what? LMN. L means what? Cos alpha. M means what? Cos beta. N means what? Cos gamma. If we are replacing this cos alpha by L, so here we will get L square plus replace this cos beta by what? M. So here we will get M square plus, and replace this cos gamma by N. So here we will get N square is equals to 1. So either you are able to remember this result. In some example, direction cosines are denoted by LMN, so use this result. If direction cosines are denoted by cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma, then use this condition. Generally, while finding the angles, if two angles are given to us, means if alpha is given and beta is given, and question is to find out value of gamma, in such example, we are applying this condition. Means this condition we are applying if direction angles are given to us, and example is related with direction angles or direction cosines. In such example, we are applying this condition. We will discuss how to apply that condition while solving the example. Hope the idea about direction angles and direction cosines of a vector or of a line are clear to you. Again, let us revise these two definitions in short. What is direction angle? It is the angle made by the line with positive direction of x, y and z axis. And if alpha, beta and gamma are the direction angles of a line, then direction cosines of a line or direction cosines of a vector are cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. And just now we have proved that this direction cosine satisfies which condition? That cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equals to what? 1. And now we are discussing the third very important definition, that is direction ratios of a line. How many important definitions are there? Three: direction angles, direction cosines, and direction ratios. So now let us discuss what is the meaning of direction ratios of a vector or direction ratios of a line. So now we are discussing the third very important definition, that is direction ratios of a line. So already we have studied about direction angles and direction cosines. Now any three number, how many numbers are there on a real number line? Infinite numbers are there. So any three number, this number we have denoted by what? ABC. Any three numbers on a real number line which are proportional to direction cosines are called as direction ratios of that vector, or we can say that it is direction ratios of a line. Now here, once the value of cos alpha, cos beta and cos gamma are known to us, if we are able to find out three numbers on a real number line, so that these three numbers are proportional to this direction cosine. When we can say that values are in proportion, if ratios are equal, means which ratio? A upon cos alpha is equal to B upon cos beta is equal to C upon cos gamma. If these three ratios are equal, at that time we can say that values are in proportion, means these three number A, B, C are proportional to what? Direction cosines of a line or direction cosines of a vector. If this condition is satisfying, at that time we can say that ABC are proportional with direction cosine, and any three such numbers are called as what? Direction ratios of the vector or direction ratios of a line. So already we have seen that these direction cosines are also denoted by what? LMN. So if you are replacing cos alpha by L, cos beta by M and cos gamma by N. So we will get this condition, means these three numbers are proportional with direction cosines. Even we know that if ratios are equal, then their alternando, means their reciprocals are also equal. If these ratios are equal, their reciprocals are also what? Equal. Means this expression can also be written in this form. So here again, if you are replacing by, means here also these three numbers are proportional to what? Direction cosines. And cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma can also be denoted by what? LMN. So here we will get L upon A will be equals to M upon B is equal to N upon C. So which condition we have to apply while solving the example, that depends on the required result. Means here this condition is also satisfying if ABC are the direction ratio, or this condition is also satisfying if ABC are what? Direction ratios. Now again try to understand any three number ABC proportional with what? Direction cosines. First just try to understand if the direction cosines are known to us, means if alpha, beta, gamma are known to us, means direction angles are known to us, we are able to find out direction cosines. Direction cosines means cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. Just try to understand here, let these values, just I am giving one example here. Let here one number is there 5, say here 8, here say 12. If three numbers, don't consider these as values of what? Cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. Just I am telling one example here. Suppose that here in the denominator 5 and 12 is there. Now if you are considering any number here, say 3. So now, and if once this ratio is known to us, we are able to find out here the such number that these ratios are what? Equal. Let us denote it by x, and let us denote the number here by what? Y. Considering that these two values are equal, we are able to find out value of x using transformation. Even considering these two values are equal, we are able to find out value of y also. This term is divided, on this side it will get multiplied, and simplifying we are able to find out value of x and y. Means these three numbers are proportional with denominator. Here these three numbers are nothing but what? ABC. If ABC are, if we are infinite numbers are there on real number line, definitely we will get three numbers which are proportional with what? Direction cosines. Then such three numbers are called as what? Direction ratios. So what we have studied here, direction angle. What is direction angle? Angle made by the line with positive direction of x, y and z axis. If we are denoting this angle by alpha, beta, gamma, means if alpha, beta, gamma are the direction angle, then direction cosines means what? Cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. Direction cosine satisfies which condition? That cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equals to 1. And lastly, we have discussed about direction ratios. that any three number A, B, C proportional with these direction cosines, then these three numbers are called as direction ratios of the line. So in the next video we are studying about relation between these direction ratios and direction cosines, and some important result which we are discussing in the next video. And these important results, and we have to apply not only in vectors but in lines also and in planes also, means in next chapter also we have to use this result. So the result which you are discussing now, definitions, hope definitions are clear to you. Now we are discussing relation between direction cosines and direction ratios in the next video. Well, if you like these videos, please like and subscribe, even share these videos with your friends also.